So Chuck, I know that you had other responsibilities this week, but is it tough when your swimmer Elizabeth has to wait, what was it, 6-7 days before she even gets to compete?
Very tough. And I'm not sure if it was tougher on her or me, because it was very tough on me. She's so good right out the gate, and so to wait that long was tough. But I think 2 years ago in Melbourne at Worlds, she just had the 200 back. It was day 7, and I think she was really bored and kind of exhausted by the time that the event came around. And I think now being older and a little more mature and having me here, I think she enjoyed the whole week before the swim. So she just kept getting more and more excited. After Ariana swam the 2 IM, I could tell she was ready to jump in the pool herself. She was so excited. So she's gotten more into other people's swimming, which is a good thing.
Going through the progression in that 200 back when she finally got into the water, she said that it was easy for the first 2 races.
Right.
What was the report after the final last night?
She, to my, I wouldn't say disappointment, because I'm thrilled with the bronze medal and the time was excellent. But she still had a little more in her, so I think that bodes well for the future.
Is that something that she came to you and said, or is that something that you noticed just through her splits?
I surmised it, and I asked her, and she kind of sheepishly told me that she wasn't tired enough at the end of it. So, but usually good swims feel better than bad swims. So
that's the truth. But the way that she trained, I know that you talked about her going out in maybe 101 low or 100 possibly. Yeah. She was out in 102, closed like you knew she could.
Right.
But is that where you want her to be? Ultimately, is somewhere in a 100 range?
Yeah. I mean, I don't want to say what I think she can go, but the time that I think she can go, she has to be out there.
Yeah.
So mathematically.
Talk about the prelims swim in the 400 today. She goes in as the 2nd seed. Really just raced it out with Stephanie Rice today. And is that as much as you were asking?
Yeah, that was the plan. Obviously you want to make it back, and this meet has had some pretty incredible swimming, so you can't be too safe at any point. But she was fortunate to be in the 3rd heat of the seeded heats. Saw what the times other people put up. So if she was top 2 in her heat, she was going to come back. And so I just basically said, be top 2 in your heat.
When you see the meet progress the way it has, with all the world records and all the suit controversy, I hate to bring it up, but do you ever start to wonder, all right, are we set with the suit we need, or do you kind of look at the suits as all pretty similar, or how do you approach that?
Well, she tells me just to relax, so I try to relax, but I'm thinking about it constantly. I'm going to take these backpacks off. It's really a shame that, especially in the U.S., that we didn't have more time to experiment a little bit. We did experiment a little bit with a couple of the suits in Indianapolis, but she has not worn a Jake suit in an IM ever. I've always been a little bit concerned about the arena suit and her breaststroke. As you mentioned before, I think that's one of the reasons she's having trouble closing her legs. I don't know. She likes the arena the best, so that's what she's wearing. I'm not convinced that she wouldn't be going even faster back in the laser, but it was kind of all the hype, and so it seemed like you had to try a new suit.
Do you feel like that's what it is? I mean, actual scientifically and physically, how much it benefits you as much as it does mentally? What do you kind of feel like it's somewhat similar across the board?
There's got to be a combination of everything, but what I've observed, and the best I can wrap my brain around it, it definitely seems that certain suits are better for certain people in certain events, and that's really the most frustrating thing about it, because you don't know. And as soon as I think a certain body type, oh, this suit is that, and then I'm completely wrong. So I have no idea.
That's more than enough time I like to waste on suit talk. Talk about being on staff here. I mean, awesome. I know last year you were around the team a lot, but how is it different this year being on staff? And talk about some of maybe a story or two, or some of the experiences you've had.
Well, I'm really not very experienced in this. I was the junior team coach for the first time this year, and then so this is my first situation on the national team, and I was kind of a fly on the wall last year a little bit. first off, I mean, I'm incredibly proud to have had the opportunity, and I'll tell you, it's a lot of work. Anyone who thinks that I mean, I'm exhausted. It's like the club meet, but for 8 days with a big club, and I mean, you don't even think about putting your own needs before anything else. It's do, and if you feel guilty because there's 10 other people next to you that are working like a dog, you know, they're the last ones up, first ones up. The managers are slaves. I mean, they're not treated like slaves, but they treat themselves like slaves. So I think we're all going to sleep real well when this is over. My approach was, you know, basically, I think Sean did an absolutely incredible job as head coach, and he's not all that experienced. He certainly has more experience than I am, but he and I have developed a real nice relationship, and we both approached it with, you know what, we're pretty successful with our own clubs, and we're not going to change anything. We're going to do what we know and kind of treat the whole group as if it's our own team. And I think the kids responded really well to that. They felt good about that. We tried to coach. We certainly didn't want to, you know, change things, because obviously the kids that are here had good coaches to get here. But we tried to, rather than just kind of babysit and administer workouts, we tried to actually be a part of what they were going to do, and I think it worked out really well. I mean, the women especially, as a whole, really outperformed what I think most people expected them to do. We knew it was in them, and we preached that from day one, but we told them day one, you guys are underdogs here. You guys are not expected to win. And the points and the medals are showing the opposite, so it's pretty awesome.
Yeah, I would tend to agree that they've outswum their expectations.
Yeah.
If you come out of Indianapolis, maybe similar to the way we came out of Beijing last year with world records and a little bit more of an experienced team, do you have the same approach where you're going to coach and you're going to be hands-on, or do you kind of stand back and say, let's let these veterans kind of do their thing? Is it a difference between a younger and a more experienced team?
Probably,
yeah.
But again, without me having the experience to go back on. I mean, I would hope that in the future it would be done similar, because I think it was really effective. The little bit of feedback that I've gotten from the kids that have been there before, certainly Elizabeth and some other people, I think they had a lot of fun. It was a shorter camp than Beijing, so that may be the big difference, actually. But I mean, Riccione was awesome. We had a blast. The food was great. The beach was there. I mean, you know, I'm like I don't know what, but yeah, I thought some of the kids, mine in particular, was hitting the beach a little bit too much, but clearly it didn't hurt her.
Yeah.
So it was just a great spot, and we had a great facility to work at. The staff was all clicking together. We were, you know, drawing on the other coaches for help with different things. I even drew on coaches that weren't even, they're U.S. coaches, but they're here with other countries, and I know their expertise, and I said, hey, you know, I'm struggling with this one kid. Can you give me some insight? And they were fantastic. So it was like it takes a village.
Yeah, absolutely, and it's shown. The success is definitely shown. I've been very impressed. So congratulations.
Thanks,
on
man.
a great week, and best of luck.
Congratulations to you for being back in the game.
Thanks, Chuck.
It's
Appreciate
good
it, man.
for us, man.
Thanks for your time, buddy.
Bye.